Hello, test, can you hear me? Alright, can you hear the game? Okay, that's good. I didn't intend on talking a lot, but if you have any questions, I can, of course, respond to you. I have the chat on a second screen now. So this is just the current state of Zonk mod. And yeah, we have come far enough that an entire mission with takeoff, bomb run and stuff, and landing should work fine. I'm just gonna let the AI fly and do some bomber watching, basically. So this is our base in France at the Battle of Britain, and we have 18 HE-111s parked, which are going to take off and assemble, fly the entire mission. A first Zonk feature is going to come into view soon, and that's that this AI, this aircraft, will stop taxiing for a while and not immediately take off. There always has been a setting in the FMB for a waypoint which said delay, but that never worked for taxi waypoints. But now it does. So number one here is going to taxi in the middle of the airfield and then stop for a while. The number one taxis first on purpose, because if wingmen take off first, then that leads to stupid stuff. So at the moment, number one enables its engines like 2 minutes early, and then the other element leaders 1 minute later, and then the normal wingmen a minute after that. So now we have this taxi to takeoff procedure. The objective is an airfield near London. Yeah, that's Biggin Hill. That's the target. So now these flights will assemble in 6 times 3 aircraft. And then after takeoff they will assemble into one big formation of 18 aircraft. I think there's a delay on the stream. So what are you seeing right now? I just switched to the Top Gunner view. I have not made videos lately because the Zonk mod has been in development, and most of the stuff was broken for a long time. But we have finally reached a state where I can do stuff. Okay, cool. So just my little preview in the live stream window, it has a lot of delay. That's great. Okay. So, and at mission time 5 minutes, on the bottom left you can see 4 minutes 30. And at 5 minutes, this aircraft is going to take off. And then I think this one over there has 5 seconds delay, and this one over there has 15 seconds delay. And then the other elements of 3 in the back are with 6 minutes, 6 minutes 5, and 6 minutes 15. So right now my pilot should throttle up. This works by using the new triggers that Darky made. And now we should take off in elements of 3 basically. Yeah, there are escorts. We are going to be 36 HE111s, 36 JU88s, and 48 escorts. So when I now switch to the view of some friendly aircraft in the rear, you can see that the aircraft in front are taking off 3 at a time. Let me check something. Ah yeah, that's what I thought. Now we can see the aircraft further away. I sometimes use low graphic settings for better FPS in certain situations. So right now, all these flights are actually just flights of 3, but Darky has added a feature with which I can make flights merge together, so they will actually become one big group of 18 and not like attached, and when you shoot down one aircraft they all crash into each other or something. No, they are gonna be one flight. And actually Darky has also added that AI will rejoin when aircraft get shot down, so they will actually dynamically fill in the gaps. Yeah. These aircraft also right now fly smooth turns because they are using a new setting which limits banking angles for lead aircraft. So yeah, lead aircraft of bomber formations will now do gentle turns so that the rest of the formation can follow them. Now I'm gonna switch to my aircraft again, and since I'm in front, everybody's behind. Yeah, I haven't given up on IL-2. I was just waiting for the mod to work. And doing anything without it, like, felt really pointless. Because I could either wait and make really good stuff, or do something subpar now. So yeah, I waited like 2 years. I'm not gonna talk about joystick presets or whatever. The newbie questions are not for me. I'm the movie guy. I have noticed since I switched to 4K that the particle limit is reached very often. So when the glass of the canopy isn't rendered, that's because the particle limit of the game is already reached, and I'm like, okay, that's just like 5 aircraft close, but Another feature that is going to be visible soon is the trigger that spawns aircraft when certain conditions are met. So right now these aircraft got spawned because friendly aircraft were in a certain range. So mission making has become way easier because I don't have to time when these spawn. They will whenever we get into a certain distance. Also, over the British Isle, that's gonna be the case with the enemy flight. So they are gonna spawn when we reach the island, no matter when we do. So for example, in the future, if we ever like lead a raid and we completely screw up and we arrive an hour late, the enemy fighters will still spawn when we get into the area. We have also changed the range limit on AI engagements. So, for example, I can make aircraft spawn on the ground at this airfield, and in combination with triggers and this engagement range limit increase, I can make it so that if a Heinkel is here, then these will spawn and they will dynamically fly to the bombers and engage them. So right now the formation is joining element by element. This feature does have some issues from time to time, and there might be an aircraft missing or two, but maybe I'm lucky and this time it just works fine, who knows. Hello, Marcom. My YouTube page says that my stream settings are wrong. I have too low bitrate for the resolution or something. I just wanted to test if I can stream at all, and I completely accidentally went live. Yeah, you're welcome, Pedro King. I hope there will be content soon again. I flew this mission alone, but yeah, we had some unlucky outcomes. I have not tried IES4. I intended to, but I never got around to doing it. Can I change bitrate and stuff while the stream is running? Probably just change OBS settings, right? I think that's not a thing while the stream is running. Anyway, yeah, then it's gonna be 720p, whatever. It's a shame because I have a 4K monitor. Aha, I see an issue. No idea why, but for some reason this guy has formed up on the very left outside instead of joining an element where he belongs. No idea why. It's Dark and Fantasy's black magic. Once we have reached like this position, like this airfield, the escorts will spawn. Escort behavior has also been reworked, so they will actually fly proper zigzag over the bombers with customizable settings that you can change in the FMB. So I can make escorts fly. I can define how far ahead or behind they fly, or directly above the bombers, how far left and right they zigzag, and the altitude, how high above the bombers they are or below. Another feature that is really great at the moment, working really well right now, is that all the aircraft that are going to spawn while the mission is running are already preloaded, so it's not going to cause a lag when they do. I can actually go through the perspectives, and when I reach an aircraft that has not been spawned yet, it's just going to look like a static camera. So right now this appears like a static camera, but this is actually a 109, or yeah, everybody else has already spawned, so yeah, this is a 109. Which is going to spawn once we get into, I think, 10-kilometer range. Render distance for fighters is not particularly large, so I can spawn them close in without anybody ever noticing. Same goes for Spitfires and Hurricanes, by the way. So this is a Spitfire that is going to spawn later. Yeah, the Zonk mod has come a long way, and especially when you look at the full mission builder, basically everything has been reworked. Landings, takeoffs, flag, fighter behavior, escort behavior. Yeah, pretty much every aspect. Now we have reached a waypoint, which also shows off a new feature. The gun moving wasn't me. That's a feature which makes AI gunners dynamically scan the horizon for enemies. Or at least it looks like it. So all the gunners on every plane now randomly look around, which just is the waypoint setting that says gunner state at the ready, and now they will actively check and scan. And it was disabled for the takeoff because, yeah, I think in reality bomber gunners would be somewhere in the belly, basically in crash position in case anything goes wrong or they have to go back or whatever. So they wouldn't scan the horizon, and now they do, because, yeah, we have reached a waypoint where we start to climb, get to your gunner stations. And also, this is visible when I just switch to the interior, so this is autopilot on, I'm not doing anything, but yeah, the gunner is dynamically looking around. Also, this flight is on a waypoint which has a current. Hold on, what's it called? A constant power setting. So this guy is not completely flooring it and not going 100% throttle and outrunning his formation. He's actually limited to 80% throttle right now. So if you're a player at that time when you can't follow your leader because he's outrunning you because he's never overheating, that's not a thing anymore. At least if the mission maker uses a reasonable engine setting. Also, formation flying with a lead aircraft that is limited to just using one throttle setting is way easier than before because their throttle juking is gone. Sandrus, I don't know. This is a mod pack called YPack, which is for 4.13, and we have added our own mod, which is still being developed, and it's called Zonk mod because it's made by a bunch of Zonks. So now the escorts have spawned. Not all of them, but some. And these will now fly zigzag automatically above the bombers at a defined spacing in groups of 4, I think. Like, they are actually flights of 12 each, like there were 48 109s, all spawned in flights of 12, but for flying escorts they split up into Schwarm, 4 aircraft. So in vanilla, these would from time to time do 360 turns and end up far behind the bombers. That is gone. They now behave properly. I don't know if you can see the bombers well in the resolution, but yeah, the 109s over here are over the 111s. That's one downside of graphics extender actually. Seeing aircraft that are above you is like nearly impossible. Anyway, so basically the entire group has been assembled. My 18 Heinkels with their escort in the lead. So 109's above. There they are. And now we only have to make it across the channel and the action will start. Marcom define working fine. Like, is the stream quality increased or something? Or you just mean you can hear me and it's like smooth? Yeah, the mod works. I wasn't like overstating the case or anything when I said that we're good to go, we can record missions now. I mean, it has been like 6 months or something, but I've actually flown a mission alone. By the way, this rear group of Ju-88s is attached to the front group of Ju-88s right now. So in normal IL-2, or in vanilla or any other mod pack, whatever, the lower flying Ju-88s would fly at a different speed than the higher flying Ju-88s because of the stupid old thing that speed in the full mission builder is given an indicated airspeed. So if you make two flights fly at different altitudes and you put the same indicated airspeed, they will fly at different speeds. This rear group is actually following the front group at a given distance. So there's not going to be any overtaking or whatever. This is a set distance. There's one thing that this Ju-88 formation is strung out a bit, or yeah, quite a lot, because that lead aircraft isn't limited to 70% or 80% throttle or something. It's limited to 90%, so he's actually catching up to the front formation a bit, and there's not a lot of power that the others can use more than the lead, so they fall back a bit. Yeah, look at the stream settings for next time, and I can probably set a way higher resolution and bitrate. Not quite sure how good my upload is actually, but yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna go grab a smoothie and be right back. Hello Smirgol, happy to see you, but who's Fipshi? Okay, so the RAF fighters are going to spawn when we are 10 kilometers away from their first waypoint, and those are 4 flights of Spitfires, which are located in this area roughly, and they are going to mainly engage the Escorts. I think that's how it is always said to be done, like Spitfires engage the 109s and then the Hurricanes engage the bombers. So that's what I basically did in this mission. And yeah, it's not going to be a escorted mission all the way, like a late war US raid would be. These escorts are going to be busy. Why doesn't it work with bows? I'm using bows. Can't you have like 4? I think yeah, it's 4 peripheral inputs. Okay, there's a fighter callout, so we have gotten in range. So the first group of Spitfires has been spawned. We also receive some flak at the same time. Here they are. So this is how the furball starts. And as I said, the Spitfires are mainly engaging the Escort, so they didn't do head-on attacks also on us. They are just trying to get the 109s away from the bombers, which is something that wasn't working with Zonk for a long time. Like when Darky increased flight size from 4 to maximum 24. That's a thing where in the full mission builder you set target on a flight and they will actually engage. The one that you set wasn't working. So for a long time they would have engaged the first aircraft to come in range. So basically all 48 Spitfires would have engaged me. But that's working again, so I can now properly set them on the fighters again, and they will actually engage the fighters. One thing I noticed is that now it's like 48 or even more Spitfires. I think it's 2 times 15 and 2 times 24. 2 times 12, so 30 plus 24, 54 against 48 109s. And I think the 109s handily win this, because for some reason in IL-2 in this game the E4 is like way better than the Spitfire 1, when they should be pretty equal. So now the first Hurricane squadron, which is going to engage the bombers, spawned over here. And if everything goes as planned, these should perform 90% head-on attacks and 10% rear attacks against my formation. So let me take an aircraft which is a bit more in the rear. Okay, so now here's our formation, and there are going to be Hurricanes attacking from 11 o'clock. Darky has actually randomized the distance at which they will start shooting, and they will, which I think is quite realistic, miss a lot and pull off early, fire early, stuff like that. Because yeah, inexperienced pilots doing terrifying head-ons on bomber formations. They were too effective before that change. I think it's a big improvement how it's working right now. So now they have attacked head-on, and I set a 90% head-on chance, so there are actually going to be a few rear attacks now, like this one. These still need to be improved. Like, I don't like that they engage from directly behind. They should still get into a position rear and above and then dive, but yeah, it's not 100% head-on now. The others are overtaking. They are supposed to do that at a safe distance, which they do right now. One thing is that aircraft are supposed to attack stragglers from the rear as well. More Hurricanes just spawned. They will engage a different bomber group, I think. And there are the other flight of Hurricanes goes and attacks the Ju-88s. I think you can probably not really see that because it's just going to be a few pixels. But yeah, I can tell you about it, and you can see it on the map. Now there are more head-ons incoming. Conditions for bomb jettisoning are supposed to be changed as well at some point, but like he said, they are multiplayer synchronized, and oh Jesus, that looks like a mid-air collision, I guess. Somebody blew up. Yeah, bomb jettisoning will be reworked as well, especially B-17s and other heavy bombers. it drops them all the time, basically for no reason. This guy with the 2 smoking engines, that's fine when he drops them. Right now we can see the AI filling in gaps in the formation, that's why they were maneuvering to the right. Head-on attack incoming. So yeah, right now we're basically unescorted because all the escorts were busy. But as you can see, as I said, the 109 seems to like slaughter the Spitfire in one-to-one engagements. So there are like 20 109s now catching up to the bombers, and they will eventually arrive again at the bombers and then engage the Hurricanes, but right now they are far behind the formation. So that's gonna take a while. Now the second formation of Ju-88 has detached from the lead formation and is actually engaging a different target. So, yeah. And by the way, Ju-88s fly faster than Heinkels, so they overtook them. And one more flight of Hurricanes inbound. There's actually a 109 engaging a Hurricane in the background now. And this moment right now is really when it all comes together. When you have 109s engaging the escorts, when you have the Hurricanes and Spitfires engaging the bombers from all sides. The flag is firing, the formation is working, there are stragglers changing formation position. There are 4 big bomber formations at a time. We're gonna be on the bomb run soon. And yeah, this can be played from every perspective. Oh, okay. Daki also is going to add some sort of collision avoidance for bomber formations eventually. But yeah, it's it's all work in progress and everything takes a lot of time. And I mean, Jesus Christ, just the screen alone, with the 5 Hurricanes in the head-on. Okay, this looks like an overreaction. Yeah, these edge cases when formations are attacked and some aircraft are missing and stuff, it's hugely difficult to program, so if something like this goes wrong, cut Darky some slack, I suppose it's completely normal. And because a lot of stuff was straight up not working for a long time, I didn't test a lot, so many bugs that we're encountering right now are probably seen for the first time ever. Anyway, so we are on the bomb run, which is going to feature another little show another feature that we have, and that's bomb release modes for AI aircraft. So this Heinkel is actually not gonna drop in default bomb release mode, but I think in train release mode with 800 milliseconds delay between bomb drops. Enemy aircraft destroyed, apparently I got a kill. So there's the target. And bombs away. And as you can see, they drop with a 800 millisecond delay. Darky has also added the armament camera for friendly aircraft, so I can also watch the bombs dropped by this aircraft, not only my own, for example. And now it's RTB. Disturbing fighter marks, I don't know what you mean. This is the first time that I tested the mission and the RAF was defeated like this. Like the last time there was one time when I tested it and we were attacked by fighters like still over Belgium. But yeah, this time my formation is not going to be attacked a whole lot more, I think. There's one guy over here, yeah, there's one more head-on. Anyway, for video production this would be way good enough. Just hold the camera and the action, don't show the fuck-ups, and good enough. Alright. This should be enough as a proof of concept. There's a rear attack on a straggler. That's supposed to happen. Bombers out of formation are supposed to be attacked from behind, and that's working well. And let me show you something else that we have been working on. Maybe it is in the recently opened missions. Nope, it is not. There it is, Operation Catechism. So this is the time when RAF Lancasters sank tier pits. I'm gonna put myself in the camera plane. Yeah, before I do this mission, I'm gonna change the setting. Because render distances for all kinds of stuff are now a config setting in Zonk. And I think this is effects. This is like ships. Okay. So Darky has added a feature which dynamically removes crew members if a certain loadout is chosen, for example. So my aircraft doesn't carry a Tallboy, so I have a top turret, but because Tirpitz was so far away, the Tallboy carrying Lancasters had removed top turrets and enlarged bomb bay doors, and Darky has added that in. So if we look at any other Lancaster, the top turret is missing, and they have a bigger bomb bay for the Tallboy. So there is Tirpitz, which is going to look a bit weird because I have graphics extender on. Low altitude stuff doesn't look great with it. Like the water is low quality. That mod also is work in progress, but we have nothing to do with that. Yeah, I thought YouTube would like make it unlisted or something so that I can send it to my friends and go, is the quality alright or whatever? And then, no, you're live now, and then like 10 seconds later, first comment first, and I'm like, oh boy. Anyway. So right now, this aircraft actually belongs to a second flight, and it's going to dynamically detach from its flight, because it's a camera plane, it's going to do a circle around the fjord. So over there, way in the background, like where my pilot's canopy is right now, there's Tirpitz. So I'm going to time accelerate to the next waypoint. Zonk isn't including anything yet, because I have not really made missions yet, or I haven't published anything, because while Zonk is being developed still, the way that missions are made is changing all the time, so there's really no point in making anything yet. This is just the missions that I have been working on while the mod is being made, so that I eventually can film something. Okay, so now we're going to show off another feature that that has been added, and that is smooth formation changing. So these aircraft are actually going to switch from this what's it called? I think Weg or Staffelkeil, something like that. And they're going to dynamically change into line astern, and then into a so-called new nun formation, where they all execute their own bomb runs on their own. And then after the individual bomb runs, they're going to form up again into this formation. So once we reach the waypoint, I am going to detach and do my own waypoints. and the others are going to change formation. Okay. So this is the lead flight, and they are switching to line astern right now. Which I actually have not tested with the latest Zonk version. This might be a clusterfuck. Excuse me. This is Victor's sound mod. The same I've been using for the videos for ages. 6.3, I have not been using the newest one. Okay, I should have tested this with the new Zonk version before I did this, but yeah, this looked smoother before. But it is doing the trick. They are in line astern eventually. So one more feature that I can show right now is that Tirpitz is opening fire on the bombers. And you can see the tracer shells, which have been in a video actually with Roma way back. So now from the bomber's perspective you can actually see the shells incoming. I read that Tirpitz actually opened fire with the main guns in reality on the Lancaster, so we added that. Okay, so this is the lead aircraft, which is going to drop its bombs first. I don't think that they are altitude-specific rounds or anything, it's just armor-piercing probably. Or whatever that is in the game. So when I speed up now, there's another thing that has been added, that is dynamic smoke screens. So the smoke in the background there is actually being activated because there are bombers at a certain distance. Or aircraft, enemy aircraft at a certain distance. These actually work like sirens, by the way. And there's the Tallboy. Now with its proper scale, turns out the original Lancaster somewhat had a too small Tallboy. And Doug has also added that chain that holds the bomb. That was actually pretty close. So there's Tirpitz in the smoke screen. Yeah, this absolutely is super brutal. Like this 5-ton bombs, just smashing the crap out of everything. And even though this is an AI aircraft, I can go and watch the bomb fall. Smokescreen effects and the Tallboy explosion actually have been made by me. as well as the tip its gunfire and the effects that it's gonna cause when the bomb hits. Like, the original maker of the Tallboy didn't include explosion effects for water, or if it actually hits the ship, it would always create a big ass mushroom cloud, which is bullshit. The camera mod is called New Generation Camera Mod. Or Next Generation Camera Mod, I think. NG Cam 2.0. So yeah, now you have the Lancasters arriving one after the other, dropping the Tallboys, flying through the flag, and not doing evasive action, because that's also a feature that has been added. I can now just set a box in the FMB, and aircraft flying through flag will not take evasive action and do proper bomb runs like it was in real life. Should have disabled graphics extender for this. It's causing glitches and stuff, but yeah, whatever. Tibbets is supposed to be sunk, by the way. We have a mission setting which de-randomizes where AI actually drops its bombs, so it should receive 2 hits and sink. But maybe not. We'll see. I don't know what CEP means. Ah, there was a direct hit. But I think it's only damaged, not sunk. I want it to be sunk because we have also added ships that can actually capsize. Ah, there we go, I think. Now it's sunk, I think, and it should capsize. No, it's not sunk. Never mind. Come on. One more hit. It was super close, but I don't think it was enough. Ah, unfortunate. Doesn't sink. But yeah, you can believe me, if it was sunk it would actually completely capsize. Capsize like it did in real life. Anyway, so now the Lancasters should rejoin in formations and just fly away. Because there's no England on this map, they're not gonna land or anything. But they should rejoin. Which they do. Eventually. Because yeah, flight lead is going at a certain engine setting and the ones that are catching up can't go that much faster because they will only use an engine setting with which they don't overheat. Yeah. And now one final thing that we have been working on is smooth and safe and realistic disassembly of formations, which I have never shown before, I think. So this is an example of 20 B-17s arriving at Molesworth, and they are flying in default combat box formation, and they will actually disassemble squadron by squadron. So the low squadron will detach first, then the high squadron will detach, and then the lead squadron will go in for landing. This has not been finished yet. Landing behavior has to be reworked a bit for this, but it's already quite good. So here we have the lead aircraft. And now let's watch Tail and Charlie, or maybe the lead aircraft of the low squadron. So the low squadron is the low 7 aircraft. The one's not in the cloud right now. Then we have the 6 aircraft in the middle, which are the lead squadron, and then the 7 on top is the high squadron. And the low 7s will disassemble first, detach from the formation, and that's when they reach the first waypoint. Okay, so now the other 6 are actually following this lead aircraft now, and they have basically become their own flight of 7 right now. The rest of the combat box, the lead and the high squadron, will fly a square pattern, and once one lap has been done, the high squadron will be detached, and once the second lap has been done, the lead squadron will go in for landing. So this low squadron will now actually do a super smooth transition into line astern. So now the last aircraft will detach and fly slower than the rest. At least that's the plan. Please don't crash into each other, that would be embarrassing. So they should now reach a waypoint, and this should make... yeah. This aircraft has now throttled down, as well as the one in front. And now they will all, one by one, throttle down and fall back, which should make them fly in a line astern. Yeah, they do. I really could have picked better weather for this. Anyway, so now we have the flight of 7 in line astern. No, there's no AAA at the airfield at Molesworth in England. I mean, there is, but it shoots at the Germans. If there were any. Anyway, this is how 8th Air Force combat box landings have been described to me by ZBLDS, and now all that has to be done is that they now land behind each other like this. They won't, because the airfield is going to be busy, so the AI will go around, and it takes a long time for everybody to land like this. But if that condition is changed or removed or whatever, then we'll theoretically be able to land like in Masters of the Air, where they all approach in line astern and then just land. So yeah, number 2 of this squadron now goes around because the airfield is busy. Yeah. And now lead flight should have done all the laps, and now they will form into line astern. yeah. And now if they don't go around and just land, it should work that they land like in Masters of the Air. And how it has been described to be in reality, so... but that's still work in progress. Okay, well, I will always have more to show because we have reworked this, that, and the other. There's night missions in the works, and night fighter behavior has been reworked, and this, that, and dive bombing and torpedo bombing and whatever. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream right now if I figure out how to do that. Yeah, there's a stop streaming button. So yeah, thank you for watching, everybody, and that's the news. The mod is called Zonk mod. It hasn't been released yet, so that information doesn't really help you with anything. All right, yeah.